How's it going, Scrub Gamers? Welcome back to another video here at Scrub Games, and today we have the last video that I'm putting out for 2023, and that's a lovely little bit of previously in DBS video series to go over the week's news, and it's a double part. Well, it's a double what's it? Double bill? I would say double bill because because it was Christmas last week, and what was it? No, it's this week. Yeah, I was away for Christmas, like holiday stuff for the last week and this week, so I missed out last Sunday's episode. So they're all combined together to make this double bill. And well, double bill, or I can't remember what the word for it is, but it's a big one for today to go over the news from the last 2 weeks and cover. And the only thing we're covering is the fusion model fills because we have not really had anything from Masters. We know there's going to be one thing we do have for Masters is that there are regionals coming up that are in like January, February, and those ones going to have the old September or November to December or October to November, October to December pricing, the one with the Vegito leader as pricing instead of new pricing. So some people were disappointed by that because it's nothing new and we got to wait until like March to get something new. So some people were disappointed because not people was interested because when they went with the leaders, it started off good with the gold leaders, and then they did a whole bit of making them less and less like highly sought after or less interesting because they didn't know what specifically is, like even with Vegito. Like, I love Vegito, but it's pointless doing a lead for it because you go Awaken and then straight away you're putting the Z lead on top of it, so you see it for like a second. There is a nice shiny gold one. So I'll be looking forward to going to some regionals that are in the UK or online to compete in those, try and keep getting the Vegito leader to add to my deck. But it's not going to be, not everybody's got the same opinion as me and not the same one as me, so yeah, it's more disappointing than it is great. But today we're looking at the fusion model fills because we're still getting those. We're still getting those 3 a day, like very slowly, 3 a day. But we're going to see, we're taking it nice and slow. And it's not, the set's not even out. Well, the stuff's not even out until February, so we've still got like 2 months or a month and a half to get to it. So nice and slow, and let's go on. We get more and more cards. We're just waiting for like the SRs and stuff to actually see what each deck does, because we saw from last time that we've got the leaders all revealed. So we know all 8 leaders in the set. We just need to see more of the decks to see like what people are going to be liking. I'm looking forward to seeing what more the Ginyu stuff do, to see how much fun I'm gonna have playing Ginyu. We'll also see whatever decks I need to watch out for with Ginyu. So without further ado, let's go into the video. But remember to like, comment, subscribe. It helps the channel out greatly because we're on our way to 1,000 subs. We tried to get there before the end of the year, but unfortunately that is not the case, unless we can get a ton today, which seems unlikely. But we're still on the route to it, and you can do that help by liking the video. That let me know that you're enjoying this series and my content. Comment down below to get this discussion going. If you agree with anything in the video, disagree with anything, let me know down below. We can get some discussion on. And also subscribe, keep you updated with my videos when they drop. And also by keeping the notification bell, you can get alerts when they do drop, so then you're aware to watch them then, or that they're ready to available at your leisure. Without further ado, let's go check out. We'll start off with the colour red. We're going colour order. So let's have a look at the red cards. So starting straight off, we got some interesting cards here. We got 3 nice ones. So we got our first super combo from in the set in Kaba, and it's exactly the same as the one from the star deck. A 7 cost, low powered super combo, like to incentivize not playing it because they're there to be like because you can only have 4 cards that have super combo keyword in your deck, and so they're like very rare resources, very valuable ones, and you don't want to be playing them like. There's like they're inclined to be used for defensive comboing to help defend, and not incentivized to play. So they're a 7 cost, so it's too high for its power to play. 10k combo, but also if you use defensively, you get an extra 10k combo, meaning that offensively you can use them as 10k, which there's a lot of ones that do that anyway. But defensively, you can get 20k combo out for 1 card, which is very nice for defending against big, tall swings. And the other card we got here is Master Roshi, a 1-drop 5k with 10k combo. And a really nice activate effect, and a really nice self-awakening for red. Activate main once per turn. Add one card from your life to your hand. It's not up to, it's just you've got to add a card from your life to the hand to pay the cost, so you've got to take a life. And then during this turn, the next time you use an extra card from your hand, you use it by 1 red. So I've seen people get confused a bit by just remove the specified cost because they got little pips up the top to show like specified cost. And no, what it means is there's different types of way to reduce costs. You either reduce it by a number, meaning that you reduce it by, like say if you just said 1, you reduce it by 1, or you reduce it by the color. If it's used by the color, it means you reduce the specified cost and the actual cost. So this one red means you reduce by red and also by one specified red as well. So I mean, if you play, say, the one of the red extra cards from the starter deck, the one cost battle trick, you can play that for free because it reduces by the cost by one, put it to 0, and by one red, meaning you'd have to pay out one specified cost with it. Whereas if it just said 1, then you reduce by 1 but not up to specified cost. So if it's a 2 cost, you can reduce it down to 1 because you still got to pay the specified cost. But if it had a specified cost and was 1, you couldn't reduce it down at all. So essentially, Roshi makes you play extra cards for free by what for one less that turn. Once per turn. Of course, unless you pay multiple copies, then you can do even more, so it adds up to it. And it just reduces by the one specified red as well. So that's worth noting. Really nice card. Master Roshi is a really good one for like a one cost, helps Self Awaken, and we haven't got too much Self Awakening. We have got some good Self Awakening in the there's a fair few cards that Self Awaken. Not too many in green, but hopefully we still have a fair few cards that I can look through, so we might get some more. But Master Roshi is really good Self Awakening, and Cabba's a never super combo option if you don't want to go with the Shin one from the starter deck, which is cool. Or if the side deck still interests you and you just want to go with the main set stuff, you've got super combos in there. So that's the first two. Then we've got another two being a Sonal and Android 17. So you got a free cost Sonal, that's 25k power, so good power to its cost, and a 10k, and also 2 cost 10k Android 17, so a little bit lower than its actual cost. Normally you get 2 costs, normally 15 to 20k, it's only a 10k, but Android 17 is a 10k combo, whereas Sonal is only a 5k combo. And Sonal, his effect is a permanent during your turn. If you have 2 or more battle cards with Mech in your special traits, this card gets 5k power. And do note it doesn't say other, so it will count itself. So if you've got another Namekian along with itself, during your turn, it gains that 5k, making it a 30k for free, making it on par with a super skillless. But essentially it's more work for a skillless, so this is not as this is worse than a skillless essentially. Because if you look at a skillless, it's got more combo power, same cost, and the power boost be a 30k is during both yours and your opponent. Like if it had another skill, that would be interesting, but this is essentially worse than well, it's the same as a skillless. Actually, no, I forget. No, skillless is. I'm thinking of Dragon Ball Masters. Free cost skillless at 30k. No, like it's got the same power as a skillless, but yeah, it does have a better boost than a skillless because it goes to 30k, whereas a free cost skillless is 25k. I remember that, like between Masters and Fusion World, the free cost skillless are a little bit different. Where in this game it's a 25, in Masters they go to 30k for free cost. Nah, got it wrong there. So that's my bad. And then the Android 17 is a really nice one, even though it's got low power to its cost, because it's a blocker, so it can defend, and it's got a nice one blocking effect, which is this guy gets 15k power for the turn. So when you block with it, you become a 25k blocker then, because you get it for the turn. So the whole turn you're now a 25k blocker, and that's really nice for a 2 cost battle card as well, because you go up past the ceiling. Like if you think of the skillless power as the ceiling for what a card, like maximum card, should get for its cost, this goes by up by going to 25k instead of 20k, which is really good. So nice little defense. So far, Red gets really good cards. I know people have been ranting and raving about how Bandai like overpowers Red in all their card games. Well, could be the case because Red decks generally, when they're supported Masters, they are busted or okay. And yeah, we'll see once we set all the rest of the spoilers as well. So far, Red is looking pretty good. Then we got number 2. So we have Son Gohan, a free cost 20k, and a Great Priest, a free cost 20k. So 2 free cost 20ks, Great Priest and Son Gohan Adolescence. They both have 5k combo, but they have a little bit of different skills. So Gohan is a really nice one because it's on play. Choose all of your opponent's battle cards and they get minus 10k power for the turn. So if your opponent is building up a board of a load of 1-drops, like using cantrips and other things built up on the board, like low cards, they'll like get you straw for the, like pulling out a load of cantrips, straw for the deck, and have its combo power defensively. Then this can come down and just wipe them all straight off the board. So that's what decks are gonna have now to worry about in if they're trying to build a board of little thick guys that make use like dig for the deck and like to get that advantage not just on hand but on the board as well. They have to worry about Gohan coming down and wiping those out. So that's one thing you have to worry about if you build up a load of cantrips or little like those 1-drop searches. You have to worry about with your opponents in a red deck and they're at free energy. They could potentially wipe out your entire board or even wipe out your entire board, plus make any big things you have that aren't just 10k or more than 10k a lot easier to swing into a kill as well. Like with this and Beerus, when it's awakened, you can drop this, kill their cantrips, and if they've got a card that's survived, they can just Beerus minus it off by using its main effect, minus like by 10k every turn, and then just clear your board for next to nothing, which is really nice. This is a really good rare from red. You can go on, and yeah, red you get from very strong cards. Then we got Great Priest. Now this is a card that, from the reveal so far, doesn't look interesting, very good at all, but with more support, more angel cards, it could potentially be better. And I do go like say with the One Piece route of introducing multicolor leaders, then we could because decks in this game, decks are color locked, so they color the leaders. So if you lose red, you can only play red cards to kind of like balance it so it doesn't get as absurd as what you can get in Masters, but then does make deck building less creative and interesting compared to Masters. But with Great Priest, the more angels we get, the more benefit or like strongest we can get. And if we get, say, in future, maybe get, or if there's no rotation, if we get a Great Priest lead or a Zeno lead that basically is all the colors or multiple colors, then potentially this could be a really good card to help boost those decks. This could be a one that could be pretty strong in future, but to see it can't attack though, because it's got two permanents. First one is cat attack, and the other one's a good one where your turn, all your battle cards with Angel in this straight gets taking power, so you can actually give a huge boost to all your Angels if we get an Angel deck in future, and that is the possibility. So this could go on, look on, keep hold of, keep an eye on, and it could actually be a pretty nice one in the future. So the 10k boost to all your Angels is pretty good. Then we got number 2, we got Tien and Dr. Rota. So two blockers, we got Tien being a 1 cost 5k, 10k combo, and Dr. Rota being a 2 cost 10k, 10k combo. Both blockers, but Dr. Rota's got a little edge when he's got a for its extra cost. He's got another effect, which 1 KO, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, gets minus 10k for the turn. So in theme with red being the color that minuses power, so power reduction, similar to how it is in Masters. That's pretty cool, pretty decent. Nice little blockers like Tien being a nice little 1 cost blocker, standard at like 5k, and also good combo power in hand. And same with Dr. Rota getting that extra little benefit as well, as minus it by 10k when it's KO'd, which is probably going to happen when you get blocks. Still is interesting, like it is weird that we're getting a fair few and like Universe 6 stuff, but there's no Universe 6 leader. Like I would have thought that instead of putting a second Goku lead in, like within the first set of the game, since they got a starter deck, you would have thought that the Goku in the set would have been a Champa maybe to help with like boosting Universe 6 instead of Goku boosting Universe 7 cards, it'd be a Champa boosting Universe 6 cards. That would have made more sense to go with these pretty interesting Universe 6 cards. But might not be Bandai. So then we come to a few more cards for red. So we got number 2, we got a Skillless Prina. Nothing more to say about this, just a maximum combo you can get being 10k and 15k power, which is on par for like maximum you can get on the Skillless for its cost. And then we've got a Fua, Fua, I think it is. And it's a pretty nice one, it's a really good one. Another one that's got one play effect. It's a 2 cost with only 5k power, so it's very weak for its cost. Like for its cost, if you think about if Skillless can go up to, for 2 costs, go up to 20k, it's only a 5k, so being very weak, but still 10k combo and the combo off, so that's pretty good. And it's got a really nice on play where you choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and it gets minus 15k power for the turn. And 15k can make a good difference, especially with Beerus, because Beerus is a very good one of the red leaders. Being able to partner with Beerus to be able to kill anything that's 25k for just 2 energy is really nice. Because you can just play it out, minus for 25, minus for 15, leader minus by 10, swing, combo this off as well for a nice 10k combo, so you wipes off the board and get a nice 10k combo up next swing. So that's pretty nice. Like another good rare for red. My red has got a fair few good cards, as I've been said, and now look for the last few red cards as well. Last red card being Mafuba. So in Masters we had Mafuba come out in the second step, and it was a blue card that just basically made the card unable to attack for a while, like kind of Mafuba does. Like immobilizes someone, and it wasn't always permanent. It's like temporarily do it and then chuck them out, like chuck them out in the ring, or they pop out a little bit after. And we got Mafuba in red being a 1 cost extra, and its effect is activate main. choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and gets minus 15k power for the turn. So that's quite nice. It's like some of the effects we've been getting, like that Fua, just not with a body. Like with Fua, you pay an extra cost, but you get a body and you get some combo power. Whereas with Fua, the same thing. This is not combo power, so it could be dead. It's dead defensively, but it's costing a little bit less. So not too bad extra, and goes in theme with the red, which is pretty cool. So that's all the red cards. Now I'll have a look into the blue ones next, and have a look and see what we've got for there. So start with the blue ones. We've got a Never Zamasu. I think we saw a Zamasu before, being just a 1-cost skillless. Remember, with the Goku Black leaders we saw, you need, for its awakened side, you need to bottom deck your like Zamasus to reduce the cost of Goku Black cards. So it's good that we're getting more like low-cost Zamasus. Getting 1 cost is quite good, just to get out quite cheap quite early, and it's actually quite decent well, because if you think about some games, you get some decks normally just play a cantrip out, or play some 1-drops to just get a benefit, and then have that as combo off from the board. So essentially like a cantrip, if you think about there, a cantrip you play a 1-drop, draw a card, and it's on board still to be able to combo off later, either defensively or offensively. And this one's a nice way to get rid of them, like put them so you can't really get access to them again, because it's on play. Choose one of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost with a cost of 1 or less, place it at the bottom of his opponent's deck. And with this game, we haven't seen anything that shuffles. There's no shuffling similar to like One Piece. There's no shuffling of any kind. So when the card's at the bottom of the deck, you have to draw back into it. You use no way to shuffle it to kind of draw back into it a little bit earlier. You have to draw back into it. At the bottom of your deck, you have to dig through quite a bit, and the draw power isn't as crazy in this game as it is in Masters. So it's a pretty nice card, and also 10k combo, only 5k power, which isn't too bad for a 1-cost, considering it's just 1 cost on and it got a good effect. But yeah, it's quite a nice one for Goku Black, just blue in general. And then we got the Goku here, which is skillless. 3 cost, 25k, 10k combo, to say. So then we go to the next lot. We got 2 more 1-drops, and these are quite nice ones, like, very good ones as well. So we got the Haru and Maki, a 1-cost, they're both 1-cost 5ks, have 10k combo. We got Haru and Maki being something that supports the Trunks, Trunks Future cards, or the Trunks Future deck, and we got Pan being a nice little filter card for blue. So with the Haru and Maki, he's got an on-play where if you have 7 or fewer cards in your hand, so if there's a few blue cards, not just in the side deck from the main set as well, that have like that kind of restriction of having a 7-card hand to trigger some effects. And in this case, if you have 7 fewer cards in your hand, you get to choose up to one of your Trunks Future cards, one of your Trunks Future, and it gains 10k power for the turn. So maybe it should hit cards. But then maybe you don't see any cards because it doesn't specify battle cards or leader cards. So you can, with this, choose a Trunks Future battle card, choose a Trunks Future leader, and give it 10k power for the turn. So that's quite nice, especially since you can play this out, boost your Trunks leader, and use Trunks leader to bounce it back to your hand. Then play it again and make your leader then awakened a 40k base, and then combo for 10k. It's really nice. Like, some nice little tricks with the Trunks Future. Trunks Future looks like a really good blue lead, and with a lot of plays and combos, which is really cool. And then we got Pan. Pan's a really good card because it's got an on-play where you draw 2 cards and then discard 2 cards in your hand. And considering we saw the Pilaf in the last video or two, Pilaf being one that can grab back a 1-cost Earthling card from your drop, means you can get some really good value out of this by playing Pan, drawing 2 and discarding 2, maybe discard a Pilaf and another 1-cost Earthling, and you can go play another Pilaf to grab that Pilaf back, play that Pilaf to grab another one back, and you've basically drawn into 2 cards, ditch 2 cards to set up your Pilaf, and have a lot of combo power to combo off as well. So that's quite nice. Like, Pan helps you just filter. You can even just, before you're going for like a kill swing as well, you can play this to draw 2 cards and discard any cards that you can't use to combo, like extra cards or cards with very low or no combo power, so that when you go your kill swing, you're putting in like actual combo power into a swing, and itself is a 10k, which is very, very nice. So Pan's a very, very good card. And then we've got some more cards. We've got a Bulma and a Vegeta's. 1-cost Bulma, a 5-cost with 5k combo, and Vegeta being a 4-cost 30k with 5k combo. So Vegeta being the same, like on par with skillless cards with power, but it has critical. So it's the only difference it's got from a skillless card is having the skill critical, but also having less combo power. So you kind of give up 5k less combo power to have critical, which is a very good skill set. That's a very good trade. And then you've got Bulmer being activated main once per turn. If you have 7 or fewer cards in your hand during this turn, the next time you use an extra card from your hand, reduce the cost by 1 blue. And that's just same with Roshi, where it reduces the specified cost as well as the cost. So you can essentially play a 1 cost extra for free after using this. And it seems like hopefully every color gets one of these, where they can essentially a 1 cost that allows you to play out a 1 cost, like reduce the cost of an next extra card you play by 1 of its specified color. Because we got one so far we got one for red, being the Roshi, which also is a self-awakener, and Bulma here, which is the same way to do it. But then I'm not sure if that's great for blue, considering that it doesn't really need to worry about reducing the cost to do it, especially since you have to set 7 fewer cards in hand. Kind of goes with some of the good ones for it to reduce the cost, but you rather make good use of it, because even though with Bulma it's only 5k combo compared to some of the other 1-drops that are 10k combo, and only 5k power as well, which is easily removed by, well, colours like red and stuff. So Bulma, I don't know if it's going to be amazing, because there's a lot of good 1-drops in blue, but it is a nice option to have, and if everybody gets it, that's pretty nice. And then we've got some more. We've got Night and our first blue extra being Blade of Despair. So with the Mai, it's kind of like standard sort of 1-drops being a 1 cost 5k with 10k combo, and its effect is activate main once per turn. Look at the top card of your deck and place it at the bottom of your deck. Now this interacts really well with an extra card we'll see in the next slide, but it can set up some interesting combos with a card coming up, but it's not too amazing, but it's a good way to find out how to set up a upcoming card. And then we have Blade of Despair. With a permanent, where if you have a Zamasu battle card, reduce the cost of this card in your hand by 1. So if you've got a Zamasu battle card out in play, it's because of the 1 cost, which is pretty cool. And is active main skill, which choose up to 2 of your opponent's battle cards, and cost 3 or less, and return into their owner's hand. So the best about the hand, it's like, if you compare this to Mass, like in Mass, it's bouncing cards back to hand isn't good, because you can get replay on effects and stuff like that. It's quite cheap to play out. But in this game, where you have to play the actual cost of the card, like it's kind of rare in Mass, is that you actually pay the actual cost of the card that's printed on it. You normally play it by cheating out by effects and things like that. But in this game, where you only play out cards really by paying the actual cost of the card, meaning if your opponent has two cards that they put on the board that are 3 costs or less, or like 2 cards that are 3 costs, and you bounce them back at the hand, that's 6 costs of energy. You've bounced back the hand that they've taken turns to set up. So that's at least from turn 3 and 4, they've paid 6 energy over those 2 turns to pay out those 2 cards, and you've just sent them back to the hand for potentially 1 or 2 energy. So you've paid 1 or 2 energy to set them back essentially 2 turns, which is quite nice. It saves you attacking into them, so you can focus on leader and pushing for damage and reducing the hand as well. So it's a pretty decent card. Even though bouncing back to hand isn't great because you still have access to it, it's still for such a cheap cost you can't do anything like bouncing the deck. And that's because we got a better one coming up as well. So we have the last 2 of the other 2 of the blue extra cards. We got the 1-drop Time Machine and the 3-drop Sinister Cycle. So Time Machine is the one that I was saying about its interactions with Mai, because it's an activate main effect. Is look at the bottom card of your deck and play up to 1 Trunks Future with a cost of 2. Place any remaining cards at the bottom of your deck. So remember, Mai can place a card at the bottom of the deck from the top of your deck. I think it was. Let's have a look. Let's double check. So it was yeah, look at the top card of your deck, place on the bottom of your deck. So like on top or the bottom of your deck. So if you see a Trunks Future, it's cost of 2 there, you can put to the bottom of your deck, or leave it on top of your deck if you want to, or just cycle through. Like mine does help you cycle through to like have a look at the card. If you don't want it, bottom deck it, and well, if you do want it, keep it on top and then draw into it next turn or with a cantrip. And then you got Time Machine, which allows you to look at the bottom part of your deck and play up to 1 Trunks Future with a cost of 2, and then if it's not, keep it on the bottom of the deck. And it's a nice way to set up, so you're not like doing it blind. You can actually set up quite nice. Like it's a really weird combo for only a 2 cost Trunks for free, which you can just, for the Mai and this, you can pay 2 energy for the Trunks. But there could be a Trunks that's like a very good power but can't be played by actually paying the cost. You got to play it by effects. So we won't know until we see what 2 cost Trunks we've got in blue. Then we've got Sinister Sickle being a really good card. It's a 3 cost extra, so quite expensive considering extra cards. They're dead defensively because you can't really use them unless they activate battle. And yeah, and this being a 3 cost be quite a bit, but it's got very good effects. It's activate main, choose up to 2 of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost of 4 or less, and place them at the bottom of their owner's deck in any order. So that is really good. So like same with how the Blade of Despair is really good in that you're setting your opponent back a turn, so putting the cards back into hand. This one, for a little bit more cost, you do the same thing, but you're setting your opponent back, and it's for 4 less as well, so it's hitting quite big cards. But it's setting your opponent back even harder because not only do you remove some cards they set up turns playing, but you also put it so they're not really going to get access to them again because they're on the bottom of the deck. So getting rid of them so they don't get them cards back to use as combo is really good, and you set them back turns. Like Sinister like Blue gets some really good removal in the extra cards, but then again with how the cost of the extra cards is, unless you're like really late into the game, you're playing quite a bit, like using most of your turn to clear your opponent's board. But then if you're playing like something like Trunks, where you're just like clearing their board with this card, and then just swinging a lead with big swings after like paying out cantrips to boost lead, like the Haramaki, then that could be a good strategy. Like, this is a really good card for blue. And that is all of blue. So, now we'll go on to green and have a look and see what things green got, because green looks to be, like, interesting colour. Like, from the star decks, green is not the worst. Like, but it's not too amazing. But in the set, like, just similar to Masters, green seems, like, with the reveals, we're still waiting on something being good for green. And green seems to be decent, but it's more like focused on ramp, less hand destruction stuff like it is in Masters. But we're hoping to see more cards. Like still there's like gaps in the sets. Like without it in the reveals, there's still gaps, making like wondering what's gonna, like, the power of the colors kind of change every day. It's just interesting to see what more things are green, because they've got some good leaders, but then we're seeing what kind of things they can interact with. So starting off with some of the green reveals, we've got Krillin and Android 16. So we've got a 1-cost Krillin, which is 10k power, 10k combo, and it's got a permanent where your opponent can't attack Android 18 cards in your battle area. So that's quite nice. They can they can't attack into them, so you can have this play this out, leave it in active mode so it can't attack into it, and then your rested Android 18s can't be attacked into. But while they can't be attacked into, you can still get a minus by red, bounced by blue, KO'd by yellow, or even KO'd by green. So it stops them being attacked into, but they still have ways to remove them. So there's ways to get around this, but it's still quite nice to make it so if you've got like a load of Android 18 cards, but can't attack into them, you have to use removal cards to actually get rid of them, which is quite cool. And considering that, they might, like, it could potentially draw cards away from your opponent being able to waste removal on the Android 18 cards rather than ever cards that are a problem. So that's pretty cool. Then you got Android 16 being a very interesting blocker, being a free cost 20k, 10k combos, pretty nice. Pretty decent power to, well, especially with good combo. Blocker, as well, so you can defend yourself, and a nice little permanent to go with it, where during your opponent's turn, if you have Android 17, Android 18 in your energy area, this card gets 10k power. So it could be a 30k defensive blocker, which is very nice, and only a 20k attack if you want to. So that's pretty good. It's not too bad for its power cost, and it's going to be probably quite easy to set up Android 17s and 18s, depending on how many we get and what they do. Then we got, for example, some Android 17 and 18 cards. We got some pretty nice ones. We got a 2-cost 15k Android 17, and this is one of the, like, a card that every color has, I think, which is a 2-cost 15k critical. And 10k combo, which is pretty decent, so it's quite nice to put some critical pressure early in the game. And then you got Android 18 being a 3-cost 20k with 10k combo, and it's got an interesting effect where when attacking, you can place 1 card from your energy in your drop as the cost, and then add up to 1 card from your hand to your energy. So remember, if you want to do that, you have to pay the cost. So you have to place it. You actually have to place an energy from your drop, from your energy. A card from your energy in your drop as the cost to be able to add a card from your hand to your energy. You might be thinking, what is the point of that? You're placing 1 card for your energy in your drop, you're just basically minusing yourself in hand. The switching energy from a card from your energy with a card from your hand in your energy. So you're switching a card in your energy with a card from your hand, but you're not gaining anything. Well, where is going to be a card that we can come up to? Probably in the next slide. That's going to be a good reason for doing that, but currently on its own, it doesn't seem interesting, but with the combination of a card coming up, it could be quite good. And that card is this Goku. So we got here an Android 20 Searcher and a Goku for energy. So we were wondering for a while, like, is there going to be anything that effects from energy to, like, any energy tricks or anything like that? Because since Scream's a ramping color and you got effects like Broly and you got Gohan, we sack off an energy to do things. Is there going to be any benefit to doing that, like anything cards that trigger it? And we've got this Goku here being a 5 cost 25k with like a combo, and also where when this card is placed, when this card is played, or when this card is placing your drop from your energy, add the top card of your deck to your energy and rest mode. So that's quite nice. So with the Android AT, you can swing, sack off this Goku, play a card from your energy, or your hand in your energy, essentially untapping in a sense. And then this Goku will proc and then place the top card of your deck in your energy and rest mode, meaning you just essentially ramped using Android 18. So that's not too bad. That's a nice combination. Or even with Gohan, the Gohan leader, you can defensively or offensively just go sack off this Goku to give a 15k boost for that battle, and then the Goku will replace itself by placing the top card of your deck into your energy and rest. And I'll say with Broly, it makes it so you can kind of sack off this for Broly's effect to draw cards, so you can still get the draw even without worrying about losing energy in Broly, but then you still not gain anything. It still doesn't make Broly better of a leader, but then it does mitigate its kind of like weakness in the fact that it needs to lose energy to get the draw, but it needs to have more energy to play the majority of its big good things. And then we got Android 20 being a nice little searcher for androids, being a 1 cost 5k with 5k combo. On play, look at top 5 cards of your deck, reveal up to one Android 17 or one Android 18, and add to your hand. Then place the rest at the bottom of your deck in a random order. So nice little searcher. It's a shame it's not just Android, that might be too good. But Android 17 and 18, it should have a good few targets since you need one Android 17 and 18s, 4 the Android 16, and 4 upcoming cards as well. Then we've got a Never Searcher and a Trunks, just sadly it's in the wrong color. We got the Gohan, which is a really good searcher, because remember, considering the fact that extra cards in this game have traits, unlike Masters, then you can actually search for extra cards. Some of these searchers, if they specify like a trait, like in Gohan here, it's just saying, you can grab extra cards from it because it doesn't say battle card. It doesn't say reveal up to one battle card with a cost of something or anything to look. It just says a card. So in this case with Gohan, same stats as Jiro as like most cantrips have and searches, and it's on play. Look at 3 cards from the top of your deck, then reveal to one card with a cost of 5 or less and say in its special traits, and add to your hand. Then place the rest at the bottom of your deck in a random order. So just a card cost 5 or less would say in its trait, which means you can search for Destructive Strength from the Broly starter deck. You can search for Gigantic Meteor from the starter deck. It can look for that Goku. It can look for Turles. Like, it's got a lot. Like, this is a really good searcher. Even only looks at the top 3, which isn't amazing, but hopefully you won't whiff. And it can grab like some really good cards in green. This is a really good searcher. Looking for some really nice stuff. Because Saiyan is one of the most most common traits in Dragon Ball, because Saiyans is like the main main character is that race. And it's a really nice one. Looking for it does have a cost restriction of 5, but still it looks for a very good selection of cards. There's some very good things you can grab from it that you're going to be playing in green. So this is a really nice search. Probably like it's definite staple in any green deck. Well, in any green deck running Saiyan, which you will run some good ones. Then we got Trunks being a 2 cost 25k, so a lot bigger power than its actual cost to take a combo, but it's got permanent where it can't attack your opponent's leader. So all that power, but you can't swing at your opponent's leader, but you can still swing at board to help clear your opponent's battle cards by swinging this big thing into it for 2 energy, 25k into them. And then we've got the last 2 green cards. So we've got a Hercule, which has had some memes already made about, which is quite funny, and a first green extra and first fill card as well in Jiro's lab. So Hercule's a nice one. It's a 1 cost 15k, so good power to cost. It's a 10k combo as well, and it's got some nice effects. So it's got permanent where this card must attack whenever possible. So if it can attack, it must attack. And when attacking, you draw a card and discard a card from your hand. So a nice little bit of filtering, really nice. So you get draw a card and discard like a card you don't want from your hand. And you can even use that discard a card from your hand to set up things like ramp, like for Turles. Set up a card in your drop so that way you can then go ahead and ramp it with Turles, or even drop it in, put it in your drop ready for some effects that are going to make use of it. So that's really nice. And you got Dr. Jiro's lab here being a 3 cost extra, an android extra, with the filled skill, and we can see that the filled skill says this card remains in your battle area until you place it never filled. So it's a nice little extra card, fill card. Nice to see we're getting those still in Fusion World. And this effect is activate main for 1 green. Switch this card to rest mode as the cost. And I know people have been confused if it's a G or a 6. And yeah, it is activate main for 1 green. It just they put the colors of the symbols, so it's a green circle and it got G in it to show that it is green for some odd reason. But to make sure, like, if you're colorblind, you can see what it is. You can see G for green, just like how that number in the near the little color icon that says G3 is basically just confirming what the specified cost is, being 3 green pips. So for this one, activate main, pay 1 green, switch this card to rest mode. If your leader is Android 17, add it to 1 card with Android in its rate from your drop to your energy. So that's really nice. So that's a way, like we were wondering a little bit about how you can ramp, because in Android with the Android 17 lead, when it awakens, if you got 6 or more energy, then you gain a 10k power on your turn to swing with, which is cool. So that's nice to nice to see a way that you can ramp without having to worry about putting all the Saiyan and Ever card ramping cards in the deck. You got a fill card to help you ramp, and it ramps in active mode as well. So you're essentially you're paying an energy, so you're paying an energy and losing energy for the turn to use a skill. Then ramping energy, so you're essentially keeping the same energy you have, just increasing the amount of you're basically keeping the amount of energy you've got for the turn to use, but increasing the number of energy you've got. So essentially, if you had 3 energy, you pay 1, go down to 2 energy to ramp 1 and still have them 3 energy. So you're just increasing the number of energy, not the overall energy. You're increasing the amount of energy you've got for the turn. Well, increasing the amount of energy you have in your energy area, but keeping the same amount of energy you've got to use for the turn, which is pretty cool. And it's just any Android it ramps. There's not like with Jiro, it just ramps Android, where you can just search for Android 17 or 18. Just any card with Android. So you can actually add a filled card if you've got any drop to your energy using this as well. And that's all the green cards. So now we move on to the last color being yellow cards. So let's have a look. So we've got 2 Ginyu cards for yellow starting off. So we got a 1 cost 5k. And it's activate main, switch this card the rest of it for a 1 card. Like this could be really good with the Freezer starter deck lead, because you can get 2 out on board, use the effect, switch to active mode, switch in both the rest mode to draw a card, at the end of the turn restand them, so you can keep them around long enough. It'd be like how if you've ever played Masters and you've seen in yellow the Master Shen and Master Roshi combo, which switch each other to rest mode to basically draw a card each, switch each other to rest mode to draw a card each, and if you keep them around long enough, they can keep doing that and drawing you cards over and over again. And in this game, having Freezer, just basically use them both, switching the rest to draw a card, switch the rest to draw a card, use Freezer to restand them so they can't be attacked into, and if your opponent can't remove them, next thing you do the same thing, you just keep drawing loads of cards, and again, every turn draw 1 for turn, 1 for lead, and 2 for these, drawing 4 cards a turn. And if you don't charge, you keep those 4 cards. If you do charge, you get 3 cards a turn to get like quite a large hand, which would be really nice. That's what I want to kind of try out when we can get more to set and actually see a majority of what's going on. But with what we've seen for red, kind of like easy ways to kind of remove things, like red can kind of remove this for free. Blue will be able to have like quite a bit of cost. They can use their Zamasu to remove these off board, put them so you can't have access to them again, or pay a lot more to get them off the board. But the longer these stay around in the Freezer deck, the more you can get benefits off it, which is really nice. Or even if you don't want your opponent to attack your lead, they can wait attacks, go into this, what's a rest mode, and leave your lead alone, so they can act like kind of bait, which is quite nice. But also still drawing you a card, still being a cantrip because they still draw a card. So that's quite cool. And you've got Ginyu here. Now Ginyu is quite interesting because it's a 2 cost 20k, so on par with like skillless power to cost. No combo but it's got a really good effect in on play. Look at up to 5 cards on top of your deck, then revolt to 1 non-Ginyu card with Ginyu Force's special trait, and add it to your hand, then place the rest at the bottom of your deck in a random order. So it's essentially a searcher that can actually attack, but it's got no combo powers though. So that's quite weird. I thought it'd be at least 5k combo, but I imagine that the searcher is too good, and I imagine that's how they like balance it with, at least with the searchers, they're low costing, low powered, low combo, whereas this is decent costing, decent power, but no combo. And a really good search because it's top 5, and any non-Ginyu Force card, which we know there's 4 other members of Ginyu Force. If you play more 4, if we got multiple copies of some of them, that's a fair few targets. So if you're in the Ginyu deck, this won't whiff, and we'll get some nice cards from that. So that's the 2 Ginyu cards, and then we've got some Ginyu Force and Korda's Armor Squadrons. So we've got Guldo and Salza, both being 2 costs, both having 10k combo, but Guldo having only 5k because he's not that strong. He's quite weak in the anime. And Salsa being a 15k. And here we can see with Salsa, here's yellow's 2 cost 15k critical in Salsa. So 2 cost 15k critical, 10k combo, same as the Angel 17 from green. And then we've got Gordo. Gordo's a really nice one because this could pair really well with the Caller Leader. Be able to lock down 2 things every turn because it's an activate main, switches card to rest mode as the cost. Choose up to one of your opponent's rest mode battle cards, and it can switch to active mode during your opponent's next turn. So your opponent's got a big boss card or a big card on you want to keep, don't have to worry about swinging into. You just want to get rid of. You can essentially use this to keep it locked down, and then use Call's effect, discard a card to restand it to use it again, because this effect is not once per turn. So this could be a nice way in Caller just to keep some things on your opponent's board locked down, keep away so they can't use them, and then just swing. And if they attack into this, you can then play another one because it's only two costs to play, so it's not that too expensive, and it's still a 10k combo as well. So Gordo being a pretty nice card, and Salsa being Salsa. Then we've got more. So we've got Nevercaller's Armor Squadron, but we've got a Freezer army here. So we've got a 3 cost 20k Sue. I think it's Sui. And we got a 2 cost 15k Door. So we've got Never Armor Squadron that is a 2 cost 15k with 10k combo. And we got and it's Door, so it's got an on-play effect where you choose up to one of your battle cards which is called Armor Squadron in its special traits, and switch to active mode. Now, it's interesting that these are 2 cost 15k, so they're cards that can threaten unawakened leaders, but when your opponent's awakened, you have to start comboing up. So it'd be interesting to know if when we get the call, where I think with the SRs we've got 12. So we've got 8 different decks, so we're probably going to get 1 SR per deck per leader to be for their deck strategy, and then potentially the other 4 could be 1 generic SR for each color. So potentially every color getting 3 SRs, one for 2 of them being 1 each for the different leaders in those colors, and 1 generic one. That would be a pretty nice way to do it, and hopefully maybe the Caller one has an effect to boost any Caller's Arm Squadron by 5k, so they can start threatening awakened leaders when they're down. But because so far, yeah, they seem quite weak and can't threaten awakened leaders, and the Caller leader seems pretty good. So we'll have to wait and see what the SRs do, because the SRs can kind of make or break some decks pretty well, which is pretty nice. Then we got Sue being the another critical card for yellow, 3 cost 20k, 5k combo, critical on it as well, and a weird little permanent where during your opponent's turn it gains 10k combo power. So during your turn, this is a 20k swing, which can threaten critical awakened leaders, and has critical, which your opponent doesn't really want to take. And it's got like a little permanent just to make it so it's harder to remove by attacking defensively. So offensively, it's just 20k, which isn't too bad, but defensively, it's a 30k, so it's harder for the opponent to run over, so they're going to want to use mainly more removal to get rid of it, rather than use cards to attack over it, which is pretty nice design. Then we've got some other battle cards. So we've got, well, the last battle cards for yellow being Banan and Metacaller. So 2 cost 15k Banan with the same kind of effect as the Freezer Leader, being end of your turn, choose it to one of your rest mode battle cards for Freezer Army and special traits, switch to rest mode. While Freezer switch any 2 battle cards to rest mode, this switches Freezer Army, so this can give you more restanding on battle cards, swing a lot more and restand a lot more with Freezer, or even just in any of the other yellow decks, just resting your Freezer Army cards to have them back in active mode to protect them. But once again, this is never 2 cost only 15k, so when your opponent awakens, it's got to start using cards to combo just to push or the threaten, but it's still a 10k combo as well at the very least. It's quite interesting. And we got Metacaller, so this is a card that we had in Masters that was quite cool, like a little bit different. Like it was a 2 cost 15k in Masters with just a permanent, just you can play multiple copies like a meme. But in this game, it's a 3 cost 20k, which isn't too bad, a 10k combo, which is pretty cool. And it's got the same kind of thing as in Masters, where permanent, you can include as many copies of this card in your deck as you like. So like you can include loads of them because it's infinite in the Masters, it's called Infinite Multiplication Metacaller. When this one, it's just cards are just called their character name, which is Metacaller. But it's also got a 1-up on the Masters version because it's got an effect as well, and that is when KO'd, play up to 1 Metacaller with a cost of 3 from your hand. So if you're playing skillless in your deck, like I know the star decks are like skillless cards and stuff, But if you're playing any skillless cards in your deck, you can just replace those with these cards, because then you can play one out. Decent cost of power is not too bad. Threatens Awakened Leaders, free cost is not too bad. And then if it gets KO'd, you can free play out another one from your hand when it's KO'd if you've got more, which you will want, because at least take a combo, and that's not too bad of effect. So that's pretty nice. If you want to play like a beatdown deck, just you can even play a deck full of these if you want to be trolly, and then when they're destroyed, KO'd, play another one. But remember, it's only one KO, so if they get removed, -0. Well, we don't know about if -0 KOs because it's not in masses, but it might change for Fusion World. If it gets bounced, spun, or yeah, just remove without KOing. It won't trigger, but if it gets KO'd, you play another one out, and you get more out, and you just keep spamming, which is quite nice. So that's quite interesting. Then we go on to the yellow extra cards. We've got two pretty nice ones. We got two 1-drops. We got 1-drop Crushable, and we got the 1-drop Supernova. So we got new Supernova being a battle trick. So Crushable's a really nice one. It's a 1-cost, activate main, draw one card, then choose it to one of your opponent's battle cards, switch to rest mode. So it does the exact same thing as in Masters, but in Masters it was a counter play, but Fusion World doesn't have counters. So in Masters it was just a counter play. If your opponent plays something, you can make it come in rest mode. But in this game, it still does the same thing of choosing one of your opponent's battle cards, which is rest mode, but it's not a counter speed because we don't have that. But it's really nice in that it now in for a Fusion World, it draws cards to replace itself. So for 1 energy, the really nice thing you can do is your opponent plays out anything on board, and in even X mode to force you to attack the lead, you can just play this, draw a card, switch the battle card to rest mode, and swing into their battle card, so you can avoid swinging to the lead to give them cards, and also still get your draw off your lead, while also replacing this card in your hand as well. So this is a really nice card, I really do like this, and it's got some pretty good traits in the Ginyu Force Freeze armies traits as well. Then we got Supernova, which is like an offensive super combo, but only offensive, because it's a 1-cost battle trick, being activate battle. During your turn, only during your turn, choose your leader or up to one of your battle cards. It gets 20k power for the battle, so the same power as the super combo gives defensively. Then choose up to one of your opponent's rest mode battle cards with a cost of 4 or less, and it can switch to active mode during your opponent's next turn. So that's quite cool. You can not only just push 20k damage for 1 energy, but also lock down a 4 or less, keep it from being switched to active mode to be able to do anything during your opponent's next turn. So that's quite a nice little trick. Just the only thing is that it can't be used defensively, so it's kind of like ever extra cards at Crushable, where it's dead in your opponent's turn, but during your turn it can offer quite a bit of power. So I come to see like what else kind of comes out. This is quite a nice one as well. And if yellow gets one where you can technically reduce the cost, like we've seen with Bulma and Roshi, then this could be potentially used for free. So you'd have to use energy and pay more energy to play out battle cards and use this for free. So that'd be interesting to see. Then last one we got is Body Change. When we got the Japanese reveal of that with translation, because translation is always funny, it's always best to wait for the English version to come out like later on in the day for these reveals, because we had this one where the effect on this is a 1-cost extra card, Body Change. Activate main / battle, so you can use it either during your opponent's battle in your opponent's turn, or your turn you can either activate during your main phase or battle phase. And well, during your attack or your main phase, and the effect is the cost is to choose one of your active mode battle cards switch to rest mode as the cost. So switch one of your active mode battle cards to rest, and then choose it to one of your battle cards with a cost of 4 or less switch to active mode. So you essentially tap one of your other cards, untap one of your other ones, swing with it. As long as the one you untap is 4 or less, but it doesn't matter what the cost is for your other one that you rest. And when we had this translated, I remember when it was revealed and people were trying to translate using Google Translate and stuff, it seemed a lot more busted because it seemed to be you can rest one of your opponent's battle cards to then restand one of yours, which would have been nuts to just activate battle, rest one of your opponent's battle cards, to untap one of your blockers or anything like that, or a card you don't want them attacking into, or a card that you use for combo power if it's attacked, to be really, really strong at that. But it's not as great because you need to switch one of your battle cards, switch one of your well, you need to rest one of your battle cards, untap one of your other battle cards, which could be useful, but it's not as amazing as it looked to be. It could still be a very good battle trick, just to get multiple swings out of stuff, especially with Cooler, get 2 swings from a card with Cooler, then use this to get more swings out of it, which is quite nice, especially since you can get 4 costs at like 30k power, which is pretty decent. So that is it for the reveals for this week, so that's a double bill, being the reveals from last week and this week, so that is it for this year. So thank you for watching. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and catch you next year. We'll have a I'll have a new breakdown of what to expect from the channel for next year, and also some more content covering 3 different games, being Masters, Fusion World, and Star Wars Unlimited. So that's it for me. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.